Hello everybody, welcome back to another Train Simulator 5 video. You join us from the lovely Preston and we're going to be heading northwest in today's run. We're going to be heading over to Blackpool North in the lovely 47. What have we got actually? We've got Andrew Carnegie? Andrew Carnegie? Probably not how you say it. Let's hop in. We are almost ready to go. We'll get the safety systems on. So we got the... Hang on, can we use that? Is that already on? Maybe it's already on by default. AWS and that as well. So that's the DSD. Maybe that's in, this is the JustTrains version. Let's quickly okay, just that. Cool. Get all the lights on, so master key on. I think the lights are actually already on, set that to forward. We've got the double yellow, so let's get the doors shut and let's get going. Cool. And we're fast to Blackpool North as well. When do we get a guard? I don't think there's any guard buzzer on here. No. Right, let's go. Takes a little while for the brakes to come off. And I believe this is a railtour service as well, as we're under the head code 1 Zulu 15. It's like Paisley, Gilmore Street to Blackpool North. So that sounds very much like a railtour. So pretty cool. Yeah, heading over to Blackpool. We haven't done that in a little while. Here on the lovely JustTrains Blackpool Branches. Not in the pace there. Cool. I probably could have done this service in the new 47, the 447 484. Probably would have worked quite nicely with this if this is a rail tour, but that's all right. As we head out up to 25. As we come across the points here. Yeah, I originally wanted to do a 47 run on the Overshap route, but they're all quite like, they're like an hour or so long. So I thought let's do a bit of Blackpool Branches up to Blackpool. Sort of a short but sweet run. Well, still 30 minutes. It's not that short. Back of the train there, wrangling its way across. Cool. Do a quick brake test. That one, that one. Yeah, that seems to be working. Of course, you don't have to do that, but I suppose it adds a little bit more realism. To this run. The only thing is I can't remember, well, I haven't done this route in quite some time. Obviously, yeah, we've been doing the Overshap loads, or a fair amount of the oh, it's the Highland one, nice. So yeah, slightly concerned about the speed limits, although I think we'll be okay. Yeah, I think it's like 70, then 75 or something, 70, 75, 30 or 40 through Kirkham and Wesham. So yeah, we should be okay. And then through Polton and Lafayette, it's quite slow. Yeah, we'll be alright, hopefully. And you'll see the electric wires run out. There you go, they're now off. There you go, we're now onto diesel territory. I think it's actually 35 here. Yeah, I'm pretty certain it's 35. Although we're coming up to the speed board for the 70 or 75. It's one of those two. Just before the 75. So we can get up to that fairly easily. go. Full power. But it said this one takes 32 minutes. So it takes a bit longer than the normal service. So I assume somewhere we're going to have to wait at a red light. Or red signal. Bouncing up and down. Look at all the coaches, probably. I really do notice that suspension. Let's just pop down the audio just a little bit, as I can see it is going into sort of the yellow zone. It's quite a noisy train, this one. Yeah, so I think the next speed drop is for Kirkham and Wesham, where I think it's 40. Yeah, 40 across the points there. Possibly 30, although we'll go for 40. You proper are up and down in this. I think there's like a couple of sections on this route, or at least in certain areas it's like fully welded track, so like there's no like sort of bang bang as you go along. Whereas in other sections of the route, it's what do they call it, a jointed rail. So you've got the sort of gaps in it, so it goes, yeah, it's more basically in certain areas of this route it's more bouncy, and you'll notice that on the pacer especially. We pass through Solwick as well. A station with not a lot of trains serving it, which is not too far along. Oh, we've got a fairly nice amount of speed on us. We're going about, what, 67 at the moment. So time for a flyby shot, I say. Let's zoom ahead. Sound of that engine probably roaring as we go along. Still an impressive route, this one. This was JustTrains' first route for TSW. Look at that. Proper traction, proper train. And we're going at 73 now. And I'll start dropping off the power now. Power is, well, just idle now. There's a sign that we're coming up to Solwick. You got all the industry here. And yeah, a little bit of quiet now. Bit less fresh. Here's what other diesel trains or diesel locos could we see for a route like this? We've already got, say, the 47, the 45, the 40. Yeah, what other diesel locos, BR era, have we not seen in the game yet? It's like you've got the more obscure electric locos, say the class like 85 and stuff. Like the 86 and the 87 are sort of the known ones, but then you've also got like the 85, etc. So are there any sort of obscure diesel locos which we could see? And yeah, this is Solwick we're coming up to. I wonder if we'd ever see a modern day version of this route. So I think there's a mod for PC for the West Coast Mainline Overshap route. I don't know if it's released yet, but someone's mentioned it. But it's like basically someone's making a mod to modernise the Overshap route. Or was it a full new timetable of it? Someone's doing something with that to make it modern in some way. I've seen it somewhere. Right, let's pop the power completely off, and we're going to get a little bit of breakage on. So It's not too far along to Kirkham and Wesham now. But the speed does drop down, and we have got yellow, so we really do need to slow down. Single yellow, pretty nasty. It's a fair amount of breakage. The next signal is a bit of a distance away. So we want to bring it down as much as we can now. And always worth, well, because it's something I used to never really do. But when you are braking, don't wait and, well, say there we just, I don't know. Yeah, we started braking from 70 down to 40. Take the brakes off before you get to 40. As I remember when I was new to sort of TSW, I'd basically keep the brakes on until I hit 40, then take them off, which obviously you don't need to do. So I'm so used to driving the electric multiple units where you literally take the brakes off and they release straight away. Whereas in these trains, the brakes are a bit more slower at releasing. So make sure to release them, you know, before you hit the speed you want to be going. So they do take a little while to release, if that makes any sense. But yeah, start releasing the brakes before you hit the target speed you want to go. I'll change the loco brake a little. This is at a slightly lower speed, so it's a bit easier to control. I feel like that's some sort of approach control. Well, I don't know if it is meant to do that. Yeah, because on this route, same with the West Coast Man Overshap, it's still got like an old TSW style thing where you have to hit objectives for the signals to change. Like at Preston, we had to wait for the objective of closed doors for the signals. Well, basically, we had to wait for the loading instruction to finish before then the signal changed. So I don't know if that signal there is meant to do that. And there's a pacer. Yeah, so it's either 30 or 40 across these points. So as we'll go about 30 as we're already going at 30. And if you do want the pacer, it is from this route. So if you want to see on the Overshap route, you have to own this route. It is 30, there we go. Was it this one we come across? Yeah. Next we have the position 5 junction indicator. So if we had position 4, we'd be going down there, straight ahead I believe. Cool, and then then up to 40. So this is Kirkham and Wesham, sort of sandwiched in between the two villages. Now what's that down there? What's this? No, just some sort of electrical box or signalling box. Some sort of techie box. Right, let's speed that up a bit. And everything is a bit dilapidated on here, but then that sort of just represents 1980s UK railway network. Sort of still suffering from all the cuts of the 60s and 70s. I wonder what that pace is waiting for there. Maybe something coming up the branch line. Not often you have to wait at reds on this route. Like, it's a busy-ish route, but the timetable's quite well done, as in the sort of, there's gaps between the trains. So most of the time you will just have greens, apart from say back there where we had to wait, you know, the objective had to switch for us to get a signal. And I think on this bit it's a bit slow. I think it's 70 on here once we get out of here. At Kirkham North Junction. grand old signal box, and then you've got the Blackpool South branch line, which I believe just went off there. Which you can go down in the Pacer and also the 101. Which we need to do that at some point. We'll have to do the updated 101 on this route. The one from the Overshap route. There's, I suppose, one of the old bridge abutments for the line to Blackpool Central, which is now like a main road for most of the entirety of it, if you look on Google Maps. Yeah, used to have the line going off there, which then basically went to here, basically, in the middle. But now that's like a main road now. Well, it's really weird because if you look on Google Maps, sort of satellite view of Blackpool, you can literally see where the railway used to be, because it's just all like car parks now. It's quite, yeah, sort of funny. Well, not funny, but yeah, sort of the way not a lot has really changed on the railway land. It's still all just car parks or a main road. Oh, was it 70? Was it 70? That signal is no warning for us. Good. A whistle board here. Lovely. Let's get another flyby shot. Pretty cool signal box up here as well. Both of those signals look friendly. Let's pretend we're up here actually. Look at that, lovely. Cool. Proper trains. Sadly, never knew these days of the railways. You always hear like stories of 37s pulling past, literally all these like cool older trains, you know, loco hauled specials and stuff. As also nowadays, it's all basically just multiple units. But is there actually any loco hauled trains now operating properly? Excluding like the 91 and the 80, does that count as a loco? But yeah, proper, you know, like a 47 with Mark 2s behind, or yeah, there's none of that sort of stuff, or like a 37 pulling Mark 3s. So we should get a glimpse of Blackpool Tower soonish. Yeah, there it is over there. So that's basically where we're going. This Blackpool North station is sort of in the shadows of Blackpool Tower. So now it's just keeping an eye out for Poulton Le Fylde, which does come around fairly quickly. And it's 20 miles an hour across the junction there. As you've got the Bernays branch, which goes off one side, which is the old line to Fleetwood. Yeah, it did say this one was 32 minutes, and it's only been 19 minutes, and we haven't really got that far to go. There's a 45. Great thing about these BR routes is the amount of variety you see, whereas on modern day routes, well, there's sort of less variety. So sort of this sort of era is almost like the German Deutsche Bahn, sort of where it was all just one big, you know, British rail. So all the locos were sort of used all over the place. So you do see a lot more variety on the older routes. Just coasting all of this. And I saw something now from Poulton Le Fylde as well. I think it comes down to like 50 first. and then down to 20. Which I sense is approaching fairly quickly. Yeah, I think it's after that next road bridge. That's when you come into the platform. Although the speed does drop before that. And then yeah, 20 at the end of the platform for the junction. Then you've got what, Layton station? Layton station and then Blackpool North. There you go, there it is, 55 or 50? Yeah, 50. So you've got quite a corner here, sort of going right round into, sort of then straight into Blackpool. Bus stop up there as well. Another green signal. Again, another cool thing about these older routes is you get a mix between semaphore signals and colour lights. There's not many, well, not many semaphores left on modern routes. You still can find them, but yeah, there's not many of them. Like East Coastway, for example, in the game has one semaphore signal, and that's at New Haven Marine, which you're basically never there. And then Brighton Main Line, does that have any? Don't think that has any. Southeastern High Speed, I don't feel like that has a semaphore signal somewhere. Or does it? No, I don't think so. Or does it? No. Yeah, so you won't find them on many sort of modern routes. I think West Coast Main Line South has one in one of the depots near Woolston. So the sort of top one, this is like a tree of signals. Well, there's only two of them, but that one to the left means we're going left. Over the junction here. So that's the branch line up to Burnnays, which you can go up. There's a couple of freight trains which go up there. But we've only ever driven up there like once. Through we go. Up to 35. Again, all the signals are looking quite nice here, nothing to suggest we're going to be stopped. It's a nice run though from Preston to Blackpool. Sort of a nice mix. Bit of slowness, bit of fastness. A few stations you pass through. Little cul-de-sac there. Nice, right up to 35. And then I think we can go up to 70 again, but not for long though. It doesn't last for long. Yeah, 70. Yeah, if you haven't got this route, but you do have, say, West Coast Main Line Overshap, do try and get this route, because then you get the Pacer and basically all the trains from this route onto Overshap. So you just get more variety. And same goes if you've got Blackpool Branches, but you don't have Overshap, would recommend getting Overshap. Although at the moment there is no 87 AI at Preston. There's no Class 87 AI at services at Preston. Hopefully they can add that in future. But yeah, they're both splendid routes though, Overshap and Blackpool Branches. Both by JustTrains, so you know it's going to be good. So JustTrains have that. I mean, they're used to them. The old products on TSC aren't that great, but nowadays, sort of, yeah, when you think JustTrains, you sort of expect it to be good quality. Which it is. think it stays at 70. Is it until basically we're coming into Blackpool North and it drops down to like 25 or 30? Although we might have a red light actually. Yeah, we got the warning there. Although I think that one's always like that. Another pacer. Need to do a stopping service on. I haven't done a stopping service, I think, from Blackpool North to Preston in the pacer in a very long time. As most of the time we always just end up getting the fast one. I mean, how many trains actually do stop at Layton? Is it regular? Oh, every hour. I have to try and find one at some point. Manchester, Victoria. Yeah, I have to do one of those at some point. Yeah, definitely. We haven't stopped at Layton in... I can't remember the last time we stopped there, but a very long time ago. Same with Poulton and Lafayette. Like a warning there for a 15, sort of an old style. Literally, no, this is the only warning board I've seen like that. An old style one, another sort of yellow here. And it's quite a steep gradient up from Layton to Blackpool North. You can quite visibly see it. Sort of the crest of the hill as well. It's been a good run, so if you have made it this far in the video, thanks all for coming in. Yeah, it's been a nice run, it's been good fun, so thanks for coming along. $15 doesn't actually start yet, it starts a bit further up. We're just going about 20 at the moment. There's an 08, grubby old thing. Yeah, just look at sort of all the track work, all the clutter, the foliage, everything about this just looks great. And sort of as the first time we saw this, it was like, wow. I mean, look, you've got all the sort of the signal cables and stuff going under the track. I mean, this route sort of set a new standard for UK stuff. A bit like Niddertal Barn, that sort of set the standard for, you know, foliage and scenery for German stuff. Thing is though, what route looks best when you compare... Well, let's compare Mittenwaldbahn and Niddertalbahn. Which of those looks better? And then let's also compare West Coast Main and Overshat with Blackpool Branches. Which one's better? Sort of quality wise. This might be another objective one, although saying that, no, maybe not. No, there you go. It's gone up. Yeah, sort of one of those objective ones again. Now you've got to be careful as there is a buffer at the end of the platform here. And again, as we're in a loco, you've got to be slightly more careful. So sort of use the train brake for maybe getting down to about 5 miles an hour. And then we use the loco brake just to get a nice gentle stop. Lovely though. Get another little shot as we come in. This 47's a little bit out of its jurisdiction. Although saying that, this one did come down from, was it Paisley Gilmore Street? So it's come down from what, Scotland. Got the little semaphores there. Look how sort of nice, cool they look. Cool signals. Platform 3 we're coming into. And again, just look at all of the clutter and everything about that scene there. Just looks wow. It's a very nice sight. It might even be one of like the best approaches coming into a station. Like just sort of, I don't know, coming into Blackpool North, it's just like wow. All the semaphores and Blackpool Tower there. everything about the sort of scene of coming into Blackpool North is just wow. Yeah, nice and slow. No, never rush up to a buffer. There's the 08 on the move. Not for long though, otherwise it's going to hit the buffer. We're about, what, 6 miles an hour at the moment, so I'm going to keep it like that. I'm going to change to the loco brake. What was it called? Like the straight brake, or the loco brake. And then we'll start applying that. Maybe once we get to where that guy is there on the platform. Sort of ease it in a little bit. So we only need a little bit of brakes just to bring us to a stop. You get much better control at a low speed with the loco brake. And I suppose at this stage people probably would start opening the doors to get out. Like, there probably would be people strolling down the platform already who'd gotten off the train as a slam door, so you could just do that. Here we are, this is Blackpool North. There we go, we've done it. That was a really nice stop. I'm quite impressed with that. But yeah, there we go. We've made it. Hopefully everyone's enjoyed it. Links can be found in all of the usual places: Discord, PayPal, merch store, as well as our affiliate link for the lovely UK departure board behind us. Apart from that, see you all and take care. Bye guys.